You guys remember how Lori Loughlin, aka Aunt Becky, and her husband Mossimo Giannulli spent $500,000 to get their two useless daughters admission into the University of Spoiled Children, right? To be fair, I have no idea how useless Isabella is, but if she's anything like Olivia Jade, that should be a fair representation. Watch my previous videos if you need your memory refreshed about any of this stuff. Aunt Becky and other parents who didn't yet agree to a plea deal were hit today with additional charges for money laundering. This significantly increases minimum prison sentences they face if they decide to make a plea deal going forward. To put things in perspective for Aunt Becky, instead of looking at around 2 years minimum, she's now looking at roughly 5 years minimum. Felicity Huffman and the parents who already accepted deals will get prosecutors to recommend light sentences and not pursue money laundering charges against them. It's expected that Huffman will pay a $20,000 fine and may only have to do as little as 4 months behind bars. She only paid $15,000 in bribes, so she wasn't that big of a deal in this scandal, besides being a famous actress. It's shocking to me that she only had to pay $15 grand to boost her daughter's SAT scores by hundreds of points. I'm sure there are plenty of hard-working American parents who would happily fork over 15 G's to boost their kids' SAT scores. Seems like she got huge value for her money out of most of the parents caught up in this shit. In any case, the defendants in this ordeal, including Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin, may try to get their sentences adjusted below the minimum sentences based on things like clean records, good acts, and things of that nature, but it's doubtful all of the parents will avoid doing any time behind bars, especially the group of parents who were just hit with them money laundering charges. Aunt Becky and Mossimo faced harsher sentences in the first place based on the amount of money they spent. Being the spoiled, unscrupulous rich folks they seem to be, of course they don't want to admit their guilt and get jammed into the big house like it ain't nothing wrong. They're no doubt used to having high-powered attorneys fueled by their endless bank accounts make their problems magically disappear. It's ironic that on one hand, Mossimo allegedly paid $500,000 to get his daughter into USC, and on the other hand, in his defense of Trump, was vocal about being against entitled people. Unfortunately for them, they're caught up in a high-profile case with solid evidence against them. The feds have them in their scopes, and already declared prison time is what they're looking for. Aunt Becky also seems to be the poster child for this mess because of her fame and her daughter's social media presence. Signing autographs outside the courthouse the other day like she was attending a Full House convention also didn't help her case. If her and Mossimo decide to fight this one out in court, they could end up facing serious prison time, as in upwards of 20 years. Aunt Becky, who's still looking like a snack at 54, might not retain those snack-like qualities after doing 20 years in the clink without Botox touch-ups and God knows what else. Snacks in prison don't tend to retain their freshness. If she gets out at 74 or older without all the beauty treatments that she's used to, Aunt Becky is gonna look like great Aunt Becky. To keep it 100, I would probably still smash, even at that point. That reminds me of something. Doesn't Mossimo look like a cuck? Seriously. The sad part about all of this is that Olivia Jade probably doesn't even care that her parents are gonna have to do prison time. She's only concerned about her career being ruined, even though it's not ruined because there are countless social media influencers with thriving careers who are horrible people. I'm pretty sure she can still sell overpriced makeup and skin-tight clothes on Instagram, even though everyone knows she couldn't get into a school that no one cares about. On the real, USC.